And of course, I seen a lot of people making a big deal about, oh, the Tupac look fake. I told y'all last week, I can don't really be in there for like the super acting or really caring about too much outside of the main characters. Whoever the main characters is, that's who I'm really checking for. But I'm not extreme. I don't really care about the Tupac character. Like it's really not to me. It's not that deep. I don't really even care about Lil Baby or Two Chainz character. And it's really not that deep. But to me, the thing I was paying attention to more was when he met the dudes from St. Louis because I remember watching the Vlad interview and Vlad was and had the dude and he was from St. Louis and he ends up becoming a huge part of the whole BMF, their whole little thing that he got moving. Because I mean, of course, later on, I can't spoil it because I ain't seen the episodes, but I just know the story because I watched the Vlad Jones. But he is going to become a huge member of the BMF family. So I'm just paying more attention to that than really sitting here. People just like, oh, I look at the Tupac. I'm like, bro, do you think they really gonna sit here and spend money on the Tupac? But one thing I've learned about the internet, and you got to kind of always understand is two parts of the internet. There's some people on there just for their giggles and he kikis, and then it's just like it's nerds. It's a bunch of nerds on there who going to just over analyze stuff and realistically who can kind of like they can kind of mess up our community and stuff that we kind of like because if you kind of kiki too much with them on the nerd situation, you realistically could lose out on programs that you may like. Just even when we've seen people get upset about them maybe I mean well it's not maybe they are gonna cancel Ghost. And what's the season they on now? I think they on how they on 4 or 5?
Full.
And they going into 4.
Yeah.
So for a lot of people it was I mean and I guess I mean realistically to me the way I'm reading it is it seemed like they broke it down to 2 seasons. Now I won't be mad if you sit here saying okay we'll get season 4 and season 5 this year and each one of them gonna be 10 episodes. Now I hope they don't do the corny stuff and be like all right well season 4 gonna get 5 episodes and then season 5 gonna get 5 episodes. Then I would be mad, but I'm not as mad because I mean the original Power it went to 6. So I mean, all right, the original with Ghost in them, they got 6 seasons. So I mean, okay, if it's one short, then I mean, I'm not gonna say cool because of course I want it, and I feel like that to me, I thought that was the biggest show out of all of them. If we just going off of when I look at the way social media react and just names trending, because even when they announced it, like Tariq was like the #1 trending thing in the USA on Twitter, like so. I mean,
So can I ask you a question? I
mhm,
mean, because you said right now you saying that probably is the biggest one out of his catalog.
mhm.
Don't you think their price is probably starting to go up?
Yeah, and of course, and I think realistically, I'm sure. I think I seen somewhere where somebody was saying I think Mary J. Blige was getting like 350 an episode. So I'm sure the more popular her and that was just her off the rip, just because she was Mary J. Blige. So I can only imagine the bigger Tariq get, the more he gonna eventually want. Because I mean, still realistically, yeah, Murray is Murray and Method Man is Method Man, but I mean, this is still his show. So I can only imagine if she getting that much, what he getting.
Mm-hmm.
Cause we ain't talking about, yeah, I get what your name bring, but still, I've been carrying this, and I've been here since day one, season one of the original. Yeah, I can only imagine. So I kind of get like we talking business wise, I understand why realistically I may off some of them, or I may just sit here and say, I mean, we don't know how it's gonna play out because easily I seen some people like, okay, well, what if this is over, and then they turn Tariq and take Tariq and what's my man name? What's Braden and put them in Chicago or some of them. You know what I'm saying? I guess to kind of still keep them because it's like, dang, I feel sorry for somebody like Tariq because you talking about almost 10 years you've been invested in this show. When people see you, that's all they realistically gonna be able to think about. So it's like, dang, where do you I don't know, dog. Like I wouldn't want to be in that situation. That's a kind of like a tough scenario to kind of really be in, to be honest, if we being honest about it. Like, dang, because like what else you gonna play in? And you kind of really just have made a name for yourself. Even them having a podcast, and that's kind of like a spinoff of all the shows where you interviewing people. It's like you kind of really have built a lot around that brand. So it's like, dang.
Because I mean, and maybe it probably was a cap on there, and they just pushed it all the way to the. Because you got to think about it. You said Power was 6 season,
Mm-hmm.
so if you saying them, maybe it might be 4
Or 5.
5,
Yeah.
right? And then you still got Tommy, and you still got BMF. So maybe it's an actual cap. You know how many they can actually do.
Yeah,
Because
or I don't know because nobody really came out. And don't get me wrong, it could be. I mean, 50 Cent is one thing, but we all know about 50 Cent. 50 is a great marketer and promoter because just think about we having this conversation in March. This show, the first what they said, what is they gonna break it down? One don't come until June, the other one don't come out till September. So it's like, look how early, and that's why again when we was
and he
always talking.
announced the new one, right? Didn't he
Yeah, and
say?
he announced it as this I get well a prequel. I don't even know what you call it, a spinoff of the spinoffs. Like this is gonna be so. It's just my point of where it's like, oh, we having a conversation about a show that don't come out until June. And
Mhm.
that's again when we always had those conversations about, hey, without sitting here and want to go be on what is it, Abbott Elementary or one of these other like I guess mainstream networks where like the ABCs or NBC or any of those. But look how invested people really are to that 50 Cent universe. Like you talking about literally, they talking about a show that still got a whole season to come up. They still got in June. They broke it down. They showed you June and September. So you sitting here saying we still gonna get a whole whatever this, and look how upset people was and how invested people was, where it was. Oh, he was the Tariq name was the number one. I think that John had like, I think when I looked at it, like over like 50,000 tweets. So that's just kind of my point. Is just like, yeah, I don't know. Again, that's why I sit here and say, to me personally, if I'm an actor and I got to choose between going on one of these like Abbott Elementaries or going on a 50 Cent program, sign me up for the 50, because it's just like the culture is just so attached to that so differently. Like that to me is I like that when you're looking at somebody just reach about marketing and promotion, something that can grab your attention. It's not, it's almost, you almost damn near say it's 4 or 5 months away. It already got you in an uproar where it's like it shows on TV right now that nobody not even talking about. Nobody kind of don't even care about. Like you get the pulse. If you can get the pulse of people for something that's that many months away, dog, you got to kind of be able to take your hats off the 50 Cent. I know we kind of just jumping all over the place, but